briefly talk about general warm-up. And by general warm-up, I'm not talking about coming in, changing into your gym clothes and throwing one plate on each side of the bench press bar. All right? We've broken it quickly down into two sections, the ones that need to be done first and the ones that typically follow. All right? These ones are in no particular order. All right? We've got MWOD stuff, the Kelly, the K-Star method. I don't think we need to get into ripping off his stuff and trying to redo what he already does, because he does it better than anybody else. General mobility, dynamic, static stretching, and soft tissue work, PVC, the foam rolling, lacrosse ball. So just so I get into each one. I myself find that our MWOD and our soft tissue work kind of go hand in hand. I usually have everybody start off with an MWOD type piece where they're working on some mobility. They get on the foam roller, get on the lax ball, and it all ties together. And that's usually no more than about 6 minutes. And that's across the board. Sometimes longer if you're a really manual athlete. Dynamic one. This one's kind of the big piece. Usually, this is the one that gets you hot and sweaty. All of the garden varieties of jumping jacks and running around and swinging things around. Usually another 4 to 8 minutes tops. Personally, I like to have a little bit of static stretching after this, once the tissues are a little bit more heated up. Some static stretching, but there's nothing written in stone that's saying it needs to be in that order. And I think these two kind of come together. You know, working on regaining some more joint movement, regaining some movement in the tissues, etc. And once you kind of achieve that and you've unbound yourself, then you can move over into the second half. A little bit of prehab, rehab, and activation. The common areas of need that we feel are, again, across the board, whether it's athletes or just general fitness clients. Hip mobility being the number one, definitely. Everyone's hips get all wound up, so we need to address opening up hips and improving joint mobility in all directions. Shoulder and T-spine mobility, pushing things back where they need to go and making sure the shoulders are moving in the right directions. And then we get a little bit more activation related to scap movement, stability, glute activation, and it could be midsection, could be abs, could be low back. We definitely don't like that word core, but we want to address any things in those areas as well. Just to kind of give an example now, I've just really generalized and talked about all these points. To give an example of how I would apply this for myself for tonight's workout, I'm going to start off, and I'm going to spend probably about 4 minutes MWODing, stealing some of K-Star's assignments and working on my shoulders and my elbows and my hips and ankles, because those are the areas of need. So I'm going to spend 2 minutes per side stretching my calves. Probably going to do some band strap and ankle stretch. Roll at my, here we go, rolling out my triceps on a barbell sleeve, and I'm going to stuff a lacrosse ball up in my upper back for 2 minutes per side. Then I'm going to do 20 jumping jacks, 20 bodyweight squats, 20 lunges. I'm going to skip rope for 200 contacts. I'm going to do some world's best across, some inchworm, some toy soldiers, leg swings, and then usually I'll hit a bottom position squat just to stretch everything out before I do my jumps. Hip mobility, my favorite is the couch stretch. Throw a leg up on the bench, open up the anterior hip, especially tonight because I'm going to be doing some jumps. Shoulder and thoracic mobility. I, again, kind of tied that in with my soft tissue work. I like to jam a lacrosse ball in there. Because I also will grab a PVC roller and do some T-spine extensions. Wall slides, no-brainer. Bird dogs. This one I skip because my midsection is real jiggly wiggly. I don't have to worry about it. It moves enough on its own. And then I go from there.